Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. This is your girl host RenaeThaDiva with Let's Talk About It, a weekly show where we actually come live and we go over things that are going on in the city, states, nations, all around the world. We talk about some sports and entertainment and also some um, broadcast news. So I'm going to actually be a little bit different today because it is New Year's Eve. I know a lot of people are out and about celebrating, and I say thank you just for what has happened in 2024. I'll ask you a couple of questions. If you want to make comments, like, share, and follow, please do. I appreciate you. And then I'm also going to tell you that this show is going to be a little bit shorter. The reason why this show is again going to be a little bit shorter is because it is New Year's Eve. I am actually going to spend some time with my family and some friends. It's actually one of my sister friends' birthday. So shout out to Deborah. Happy birthday, boo. Love you, mean it. And then a couple other people. So I know we have a few New Year's Eve babies that are there. So also because Yizer Media, who is my parent company now, has a concert going on, I'm definitely going to advise you or ask you to go to code1035.com. Go out there now. They are live. They have concerts from all around the world. There's going to be Sade, there's going to be Kendrick Lamar, you name it. It's going to be some of your most popular artists giving concerts tonight for, of course, New Year's Eve. So make sure you join the concert. So let's get our sponsors in the way. Shall we? Shall. Thank you and shout out to, again, Yizer Media. Make sure you go to code1035.com or shop Yizer, Yizzor.com if you're interested in our fundraising. If you're interested in donating, make sure you do send us an email. You can do so at marketing@Yizzor, Yizzor.com, and someone can get back to you on our sponsorships or our fundraising. We do have the Legacy Honor Bricks that you can purchase for a business or fraternity or sorority, or even in the individual's name as a memorial. So make sure you take a look at that as well. Hi, everybody that's joining me on all of the platforms that I am on. Hopefully you are again having a safe and wonderful New Year's Eve so far. It's your girl RenaeThaDiva. I'm not going to be on here long because again, it is New Year's Eve, and guess what? I'm not necessarily going out. I think I've passed the point in my life where I actually want to go to the clubs and things of that nature. I usually do go worship at a church house somewhere. I'm not even doing that this year. I'm actually just opting to be at home. It's a sister friend of mine's birthday. I told her I might stop by her event just to kind of celebrate her and love on her a little bit. But otherwise, I think I'm at the point in my life where being at home is okay with me. I have, of course, cooked some of the traditional New Year's Eve meals or put them on even so that, come tomorrow that we will have that to feast on. So I am, again, going to have a little bit of a different show today. This is Let's Talk About It. I am your host, RenaeThaDiva. We are also on Yizer TV. So you can watch my show rebroadcast on Yizer at code1035.com or YizerTV.com. Yizzor is how it's spelled. And please also make sure you go to shopyizer.com to do our fundraisers. A lot of our fundraisers will actually help to give care and needs of veterans that have maybe been sexually abused. There's some other fundraisers we do called Cop Kids, where we actually try to build entrepreneurial skills in the youth. It's very much needed. So if you would definitely go out there and participate, I appreciate that. Thank you for all of those who are sharing, and following. RenaeThaDiva, that's me. Thank you again for all of your support. Again, thank you for supporting Yizer TV or Yizer Media. Thank you for supporting RenaeThaDiva. Thank you for supporting Let's Talk About It. I think this year has been truly a different kind of year for me. 2024 has brought some loss, brought some gains, brought some joys, brought some sorrows, a little bit of everything. So I think everyone has kind of been feeling that this year. This was kind of like the first bounce back year, real bounce back year for me and maybe a lot of other people that are business owners with post-COVID kind of actions going on. So I'm interested to see and hear how you've kind of dealt with um, recovering from COVID. We are, I think, in my opinion, still in the kind of like the recovery phase, especially as a business owner, where a lot of us have um, possibly even shut down businesses. A lot of our local restaurants have gone out of business. A lot of retailers have actually downscaled or closed a lot of their stores. If you paid attention to 2024, again, it's been a little bit of an interesting year. So I personally look forward to what's kind of going on in 2025. Um, before I go any further, thank you again for watching, sharing, liking this show. So this is Let's Talk About It. I am your host, RenaeThaDiva. We are broadcast or will be rebroadcast also on Yizer TV. You can watch it by going to code1035.com. If you are coming in late, you can actually watch the rebroadcast there. So there you go. Now, today's show again is a little bit different, whereas I'm not actually having a guest. I'm here. I'm going to talk just a little bit to you about, again, 2025 and kind of forecasting on some business things and kind of get some gems dropped to you. Hopefully these help you. My goal in life, honestly, is to help others succeed. That's a gift that God's given to me, or whoever you believe in. I believe in God. I feel that that's truly a gift that He's given me. I witnessed my grandson's other grandma all passed, and again, I give a shout out to that family. You know, I'm here for you guys, praying for you always. But it brings up a very valid point. Are your affairs in order? None of us are promised tomorrow. So yes, tomorrow is technically supposed to be 2025, but who's to say that we will or will not make it? So what I say to you is this. Again, make sure you are prepared. I've shared this testimony with some, and maybe you have heard it or maybe you haven't, depending on if you've been following my shows or my life, I guess is a good way to put it. I try to be pretty transparent in hopes that my experiences can help someone else, especially as an entrepreneur. So one of the things that I've gone through is I lost my father a number of years ago. He actually died on Super Bowl Sunday. And so it becomes a kind of trivial or pivotal thing for me because I'm a big sports fan. So, you know, I want to be in the mood and enjoy the game and all the festivities of the Super Bowl. But, you know, at the same time, still in the back of my mind, you know, is that the fact that, you know, that's the day that I lost my dad. So with that being said, I go to here. I am so glad that my dad actually listened to me. And when I say he listened to me, it was in this aspect. He had we had pre-planned exactly what was to happen in the event that he was to demise. It was not an easy thing to do, especially because of the fact that, you know, of course, us as children never want to really think about our parents leaving here or leaving us, leaving the earth. But me being the entrepreneur that I am, I actually at that time was into funeral planning. And I'm sorry, I'm trying not to be emotional, but if you hear my voice waver a little bit, it's still like a little bit of an emotional thing. So again, just count it to my head and not to my heart, you know, that that I show emotion. I just want you to understand exactly how important this is. He, again, and we planned out his services and funeral. One of the biggest misconceptions of losing someone or someone's demise or even our own demise is that even in pre-planning that everything will be taken care of. There's always going to be something that pops up. The reason why I say that is this. Yes, we had my father's life insurance policy. We had his gravesite paid for. We had his funeral itself paid for. He actually wanted to be, you know, cremated. I'm like, I know. And then he later changed his mind and we went through that whole thing. So, he and I had that discussion and had to go back and forth. But even in the interim of his demise, and what kind of happened was that because my father was of larger stature, he was a tall man. He was like 6'5". And he was a heavier man in the end of his life. So we had to pay for an extra vault size. That was what could be considered an unexpected expense. And, thankfully, again, he listened to me, is that we actually had life insurance in place that was sufficient enough to cover the full expenses of his funeral. But also, in that being said, a lot of times people don't understand or don't know their funeral home is not going to even process or pay or plan the funeral unless they have money in hand. So that means they have to get the money from the life insurance company in hand or have arrangements for that money to be coming to them before they would even go forth with the family and planning. One thing that is prevalent in our community especially, and I'm just so saddened by this, we don't properly plan for our exit of this earth or this life. I'm all about building legacy for um, my children. I encourage you to leave a legacy, not a burden. When someone demises, it's hard enough only because, again, people are dealing with emotions of losing their loved one. You don't want the extra burden of having to deal with planning for funerals and getting funeral expenses covered to also add to that emotional state. Get a life insurance policy. I don't care where you are in the United States. If you don't have a life insurance policy, call me, email me. I'll be more than happy to give you a quote. There's no obligation. I won't take it personal if you decide not to get it. We can get life insurance for as little as $25 per month. So we can do it based upon your budget, if you have a certain budget in mind, or we can do it about a face amount. So again, I will post my information. Make sure you get in contact with me. Okay. And if you don't get in contact with me, contact your local insurance agent. If you have someone that's in your city, state, that is a life insurance person, we're not the bad guys. I promise we're not. A lot of times, uh, insurance agents get a bad rap, whereas people think we're just about money. What people don't understand, even being in an insurance agency or being in the insurance business, is a lot of times we don't even get paid unless you've actually paid your policy in full or based upon how you pay your policy. That's neither here nor there. Um, Most insurance agents, and if they're like myself, I'm in it truly to help other people. My goal is to make sure that in the event that something happens to you, your family is not left with the financial burden of trying to make sure you are buried properly. Okay, so I'll get off my soapbox now. That was my quick soapbox moment. Let me pause for just a second. I'm going to add this here. This is the Yiser Veterans Against Military Sexual Assault fundraiser that I was telling you about. So for those of you on this platform, you can't see it. So make sure you go out to Facebook or StreamYard or YouTube or even Yiser TV um, by going to code1035.com and registering for an account, and it's free and you'll get to see all this information. But this is the fundraiser we do. So if you are interested, please make sure you call that number. Make sure you go to shopyiser.com and help with the fundraiser. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. So again, as I mentioned, if you're just joining me, this is RenaeThaDiva. This Let's Talk About It. Let's talk about it. Let's share. So we've been kind of talking about 2025 and kind of being prepared. None of us are promised tomorrow. So I don't know about your states or where you are, but here in Indy, a lot of people have been unalived. The term we'll use now is unalived. And it's over crazy stuff. I'm not going to make this a downer show, as I call it. I don't want to make people feel any sort of way, but I do want to put into your minds thoughts of what will happen if there have been people that have been in car accidents. When you get up in the morning, you never say, I'm not coming home, because you don't think that you're not coming home. You go out with the intention of returning to your home safely. There have been people that have had, like even within a mile to 2 miles from me, from my home, there was a truck driver just this last week that had maybe some kind of medical thing happen to him. He ends up crashing. The truck burst into flames. He was unalive. I'm sure in his mind, he never thought, by me doing my job, I'm not going to come home to my family. And hopefully he was, he may have very well been on his way home to his family. So those are just things I think of when I think of why insurance is important. Okay, I'm going to again get off my soapbox on this stuff. I'm not going to make this a long show. What I'm going to say to you is that be safe. People are out and about. It is New Year's Eve. There are people that are drinking and driving. Please don't do so. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a family member. Hey, make yourself available. If you know that you are not drinking or not impaired and your friend calls you, answer the call. They very well may need you to come and get them. You would rather them get home safely or you be inconvenienced per se by having to go get them from wherever function than them not being there tomorrow to talk about it and make it into 2025. So with that being said, let me ask you guys this. Do you make New Year's resolutions? In my younger years, I did. Now that I'm older, and I'm not going to tell my exact age because I'm still 25 in my head. No, I think I moved to 27 in that part. But on a serious note, do you make resolutions or do you make lifestyle changes? Resolutions can fade. I wrote a book called Effectively Forming New Habits. It takes 21 days to effectively form a new habit. If you put into practice what you want to change for 21 days, it will become true. It will become so. One of my sister friends, Dr. Kimberly Roll, actually wrote a book called Manifesting Your Goals. And it's an awesome book. If you have not gotten that, go out to YouTube. Not YouTube, Amazon, I'm sorry. And purchase her book. It's Dr. Kimberly Roll, Rolle. It's an amazing book called Manifesting Your Dreams or Manifesting Your Goals. But in her book, she kind of talks about how, you can actually manifest. Again, it does come down to, you can come in, son. It does come down to, you putting into practice something for at least 21 days. That's my son, by the way. He's been on before. Hi, Dory. I'll call him Dory because, I'm mom. I can do that. His name is Dorian. And so have you actually sat down and thought about what you want to change, if anything, for your 2025? I mentioned last week, and it's very true. If you are just now planning for 2025, you're actually behind the goal, behind the 8 ball, so to speak, in business. The reason why is because we're already technically in first quarter. So you should definitely have those first quarter goals already in play. Doesn't mean that you cannot be successful. Doesn't mean don't start your business. Doesn't mean don't start your goals. That means that you need to be diligent about doing them. Make sure you're sticking to them. Hi, everybody is just now joining. This is Let's Talk About It with me, your girl, RenaeThaDiva. So we're kind of talking about some business things, some resolutions, some goals for 2025. For me personally, I actually set a business goal back in September for 2025. So there are some things that I'm definitely enacting or have already put into play for my businesses for 2025. One of those things being that I want to make sure that I am not frustrated by finances. It's really easy to do in business. If you're an entrepreneur, it's really easy to be kind of frustrated when what depending on what product you have or what things you have that you sell or market, if people aren't supporting you. One thing I tell people all the time in consultation is that, the people that you think will support you will probably be the ones that won't. And it's okay. A lot of times, our society doesn't really support until they see you kind of like take off or become the rocket that your business can be, depending on, again, your industry, um, that can make a big wave financially. As an entrepreneur, you have to bank on you being able to support your business financially for at least the first 1 to 2 years. Again, depending on your industry, that can be a strain. So what I tell people is this: you don't have to necessarily quit your 9 to 5 if you have a 9 to 5 while you're doing your business, especially to begin with. But as you're working like 8 hours on your day job, make sure you're putting at least 8 to 10 in on your business to make sure that it is becoming successful. Can that be a strain? Exactly. It can be, especially if you have a significant other, spouse, loved ones, children. It can be a balancing act. One thing I also will say with that is this: make sure you make time for self care. The reason why is because if you're not good, then none of the other things function. I have been guilty of it myself. My friends call me um, a Jamaican. I'll just say it. They call me other groups that are known to be hardworking. And I don't take that as a criticism. I take it as a compliment because of the fact that I do feel like I am fairly hardworking. If it takes me working 3 to 5 jobs to make sure that my family or my legacy continues, hey, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to work 3 to 5 jobs to make sure it happens. Um, excuse me, I'm sorry. In the same token, um, I encourage you as an entrepreneur to not necessarily be a jack of all trades, but to focus on your niche. Some people say, well, guess what? There's so many people doing exactly what I'm doing. That may be true. So then it becomes a matter of making yourself stand out. And how do you do that? Customer service. Say it with me. Customer service. That's how you make yourself stand out from other people. I would much rather pay a higher price for good service versus getting a discount and getting treated like my dollars don't matter. I work hard for my dollars. I don't know about you guys, but I do. I work hard for my dollars. So therefore, I am very careful on where I spend my dollars. That being said, let me take a quick commercial break. Again, if you are new here or if you're just joining, this is Let's Talk About It. I am your host, RenaeThaDiva. Thank you for joining in. I know it is New Year's Eve. Hopefully you are being safe out there. Again, remember, buzz driving is drunk driving. Do not drive drunk. For one, if you make it alive, you're going to be locked up and put in jail for probably the whole week and not get out to the weekend. That's no fun. I'm just saying. Not saying this happened to me, but I don't want it to happen to you either. Okay? That's one thing. And then two, the life you save may be your own. There are people that are out there. We've had a rash of people be hit also walking. I know transportation has been difficult for a lot of people here in Indianapolis where I am. Our public transportation shuts down fairly early per se. So, maybe if like you have people walking or working second and third shift, a lot of times they have to be dropped off at one place and walk a pretty far away from maybe their homes to get there safely. So, just be cognizant. And then those that are out and about, and if you're walking, make sure you're wearing bright clothes because, again, people are just not paying attention. They're texting while driving, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so my insurance lady just came out then. So make sure you're not doing that. I'm going to take just a second because I need a beverage. My voice is getting parched. Thank you again for watching, for joining. This is RenaeThaDiva. This is Let's Talk About It. We are also broadcast on RenaeThaDiva.com. Make sure you go out to code1035.com. You also can see the show there and go to shopyizer.com for our fundraising information. Okay. So Again, this is not going to be my typical show. This is not going to be a long show because of the fact that it is New Year's Eve. I want you to get out and enjoy whatever festivities you want to enjoy. Or if you're just going to be at home, sitting, chilling, watching movies, eating popcorn, eating bonbons, whatever you want to do, make sure you do it. Okay. But just be safe about it. I hope to see you all in 2025. Make sure again you go out to code1035.com. Right now, they are going to have a live concert until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning with some of your most famous artists like Kendrick Lamar, Sade, and some other artists that are going to be out there. So make sure you go out there and take a look. It is live on my Facebook page. If you follow me under Renee M. Parker, that's RenaeM as in Mary Parker. And also on several of the other Geyser team members' pages as well. So shout out to KB. Hi, KB. Hopefully you are doing well as well. If you are at your house of worship during this time, whether you're going out to party, whatever it is, just make sure that you stay safe. I hope to see you all in 2025. This is RenaeThaDiva. This is Let's Talk About It. And I will see you guys soon, okay? You take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.